everybody, Luther for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new Blast from the Past. This time around, we are talking about Malefics. Malefics are a very interesting archetype from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time movie, which I really like. It's a lot better than the original. Yeah, the original was cool and all. Like, I'm talking about the original movie. The original movie was cool and all, but it also wasn't very good. The story was confusing. And really, honestly, the only good parts about the original movie was getting to see Yugi and Kaiba duel, and Kaiba and Pegasus duel, and all the duels. Yeah, that was pretty much the only good thing about the original. But, Bonds Beyond Time had a really good story, or at least in my opinion it did. It had some comedy to it. Like, I absolutely love Pegasus's reaction when Paradox shows up to destroy everything, and he's like, "Good, I'm getting upstaged." I don't know. It just really, really made me laugh. And honestly, the movie was just so cool because, hey, Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei all being together to kick some butt was just really, really cool. So, that being said, though, Paradox, the main antagonist of the movie, his deck is really under-supported. I mean, look at this. This is the entire deck right here. And then there's some stuff from the anime, which has never gotten released, which is, I think, is something stupid. Now, Konami has always had a penchant for kind of just giving a shaft to any and all evil, like, bad guy decks. You know, like Heraldics, well, although Heraldics are probably one of the better ones. Toons, Malefics, Cubics, which are played by Agami? I forgot what his name is. And, you know, just other decks that are played by the bad guys of the TV shows and stuff like that. So, for some reason, I don't know why, but Konami just doesn't want these decks to do well or be relatively played. Anyway, so with that being said, though, Malefics are one of the cooler ones, in my personal opinion, because the majority of the deck are like evil versions of classic monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff, and that is just so cool. Like, you didn't see a cool looking, well, like, and also just the designs. Like, seriously, I love the designs of these things. Like, look at this, Malefic Rainbow Dragon is so cool looking. Just the black and white wings and everything. It's one of the better designed archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my personal opinion, in terms of the artwork. In terms of everything else, Konami could have really done better. But we will get to that once we get going. So, with that being said, let's start off with the only real, not really very important Malefic, and that's Malefic Parallel Gear. I say he's not very important because, compared to everybody else, he's very odd. Let's just leave it at that. So, Malefic Parallel Gear, he's a level 2 tuner, 0 attack, 0 defense, Machine Dark. While using this card as a synchro material, the other synchro material monster is one Malefic monster in your hand. That being said, this guy is really cool, like, in my personal opinion, because you're just able to go straight into a, let's see here, level 9, level 10, if we ever get to level 12, that's easy to go into. Like, you just can go straight into any synchro that you really want, pretty much, with these guys, because you got to use one in hand, and you guys will see why here in a second if you don't know very much about Malefics. Now, Malefic Parallel Gear is mainly used to go into Malefic Paradox Dragon, with which we will get to here shortly. Anyways, yeah, I really do like this card, though. He's sadly not really all that well known. Like, not many people really used him or anything back when Malefics. I believe there was like a Malefic skill drain deck that was doing pretty well in tournaments and stuff back when skill drain was at 3 and when the format was slower. Because like people would play Stardust and Cyber End and just kind of go off from there. Anyway, so one of the big things about Malefics is that almost all of them have the exact same effect, and that is very stupid. So, okay, Malefic Red Eyes. Once I read this effect, I'm just going to kind of give you the shortened down version of the next 4. So, Malefic Red Eyes, level 7, 2400 attack, 2000 defense. All the Malefics that are based off of original monsters have the exact same stats as the original versions. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play one Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck. There can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack, and if there is no face-up field spell on the field, destroy this card. So they all have this summoning stipulation where you banish the original copy of them from the deck. In the case of Stardust and Cyber End, it's from the extract because obviously they are based on extract monsters. And Rainbow Dragon is the only one who lets you banish a copy of it from the hand. So if Rainbow Dragon, the original, is in your hand, you can banish Rainbow Dragon to summon it from the hand. So really, when people say that, oh, Rainbow Dragon's terrible, like Malefic Rainbow Dragon is terrible, no, he's not. He's honestly the best main deck of the 3 main deck Malefics that like need main deck monsters, because that's one of the big problems with this deck, is that the main deck ones, most notably only Red Eyes and Blue Eyes, because Malefic Rainbow can banish the monster from hand, but Malefic and Blue Eyes can't. They have to be in deck, which means, oh hey, if you draw 2 Blue Eyes, you have 2 Blue Eyes in hand, and oh hey, look at that, I can only summon 1 Malefic Blue Eyes. It's really stupid. Now that being said, though, Stardust actually has an additional effect where, while he is on the field, field spells you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is very good. And I believe it's actually all face-up field spells, so even ones your opponent controls. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, but however, the issue with this deck is the stipulation that there can only be 1 face-up Malefic on the field. So if you're in a mirror match and your opponent gets a Malefic out before you, you're screwed. And the stipulation that other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. And the stipulation that if there's no field spell on the field, destroy it. That is so incredibly stupid. Okay? So, yeah. Now, how would I have to... and I will get to how I think I can fix it, but if I were designing these cards, I would not have those things. I mean, like maybe the if there's no field spell on the field, destroy this card thing, because that plays into like the whole field spell reliance of it. But however, the whole there can only be 1 on the field and no other monsters you control can attack, I would not even bother putting those like stipulations onto these cards if I was the designer of these cards, but I'm not, so yeah. Now, one thing that does annoy me is that Cyber End, for some reason, does not retain his piercing effect as a Malefic, which they had in the anime but got rid of, which is stupid. I don't know why Konami got rid of his piercing. Maybe because they figured, oh, it's 4K, it doesn't need it, yet they gave the original piercing. I don't know. Anyway, so next up is their fields. Oh wait, I skipped over. I skipped over Truth Dragon. So Malefic Truth Dragon, kind of sort of technically disguised a boss monster. This card cannot be normal summon or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by its own effect. If a face-up Malefic monster except Malefic Truth Dragon is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can pay half your life points, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. There can only be 1 face-up Malefic monster on the field. If there is no face-up field spell on the field, destroy this card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster in battle, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. So yeah, really good effect. Not to mention, this thing is a 5k by 5k. This thing is powerful, and it is a scary boss monster to have to deal with if you have no easy way to get rid of it, like 101 or Castell. Because not many monsters can get up to 5k. Heck, this thing can run over Dark Planet. This thing can destroy a planet. Which is hilarious. Oh god. Can you just imagine this thing like doing like what Luke did in the original Star was it in the original Star Wars movie where he blew up the Death Star? I can't remember. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this guy I really like as a boss monster. Oh hey, you lose one of your Malefics, okay, special summon from hand or grave. And I like how you can even summon it from graveyard, not just your hand, which is really good, because then because it makes it where you only really need 1 in the deck, but however, I still like to play like 1 or 2. But anyways, so yeah, as a boss monster, I really like this guy, but however, I wish he had some protection or something. Really all he does is help you maintain your field presence, which this deck doesn't really do very well. Now then, onto the spell and trap. The field spell for the deck is Malefic Rolled. It kind of sort of makes sense. I can't really make sense of what the artwork is. It kind of looks like a giant eye in the sky, and like you're looking up from it, like with a cityscape around it. I think it's supposed to represent the area where they dueled in the anime, and like the Malefic World is like just supposed to be like an altered version of it. I don't know. So, while this card is face up on the field, you can activate this effect instead of conducting a normal draw during your draw phase. You can choose 3 Malefic cards from your deck and have your opponent pick 1 of them at random to your hand to add to your hand. Shuffle the rest back in your deck. So, while this card is on the field, instead of drawing, which If you were to just draw, you could potentially draw into your main deck Malefics, which is bad. I mean, well, the main deck version, so like Blue Eyes or Red Eyes, which you don't want to draw into the original Red Eyes or Blue Eyes, you want to draw into your Malefics. So what you do is, with this card, you choose 3 Malefic cards. It can be any 3 cards, even another copy of itself. There's not very many cards that can search out another copy of itself, but Malefic World can. So basically what you do is you choose 3 of whatever you want, and your opponent picks 1, it goes to your hand, the other 2 go back to deck. And that is really, really good. It helps keep your main deck monsters that you want to keep in your main deck, and it helps just get to your monsters and stuff. And it can search out spells and traps too, which is really nice, and it just is a really good card, like, overall. Next up is Malefic Cross Stream. It's a trap card. Activate all you control face-up Malefic, select 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. I don't think this targets. I'm not entirely sure if that targets. Like, I know sometimes select and target can be interchangeable in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't know if this targets or not. Somebody, like, double check for me if it targets. But this card is both good and bad. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why would you even want to play this card? It's 1-for-1 destruction. Well, see, here's the thing. Malefics, because of their stupid stipulations, where you can only control 1 of them and only it can attack, have a really hard time dealing with massive boards. So, oh, hey, you're doing against Pendulums, and they summon 5, and they all are in defense? None of these guys have piercing. You're not going to be doing any battle damage to your opponent, and you can't summon anything else to help clear their board. So really the only thing that you have to rely on is spell and traps to destroy their monsters. But the issue is that this only destroys 1 monster, and it's just a regular trap. It doesn't... It's not like a continuous trap where, like, okay, once per turn if you control a Malefic monster, target 1 monster in the field, destroy it. That would have been good. But no, Konami just didn't want to do that. So overall, the main deck stuff, I like what they were trying to do, but they failed miserably at it. Now, as for the 1 extra card they have over here, Malefic Paradox Dragon. This guy is my favorite Malefic, just like purely art and like effect-wise. I'm not lying. This guy's one of my favorite synchros for his artwork and everything. So he's a level 10 synchro, Dark Dragon, 4K by 4K. Really good stat line for a level 10. And his synchro summon requirements is Malefic Parallel Gear, plus 1 non-tuner Malefic monster. So he's a level 10, Malefic Parallel Gear is a 2, so you need an 8. So you can either use Stardust or Blue Eyes, which isn't bad. When this card is synchro summon, you can target 1 synchro monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. There can only be 1 face-up Malefic Paradox Dragon on the field. If Malefic World is not face-up on the field, destroy this card. So this guy is a very different beast compared to all the main deck Malefics, with the exception of Parallel Gear, who's just like in his own little like area over here. So basically, when this guy is summoned, he monster reborns a synchro monster in either player's graveyard to the field. Now, this is referencing how he summoned Stardust Dragon from the graveyard in the anime. That was still stupid how he did that, because Stardust was never actually summoned, it was sent to the graveyard. And that's another odd thing to mention, is that in the anime, the Malefics, whenever you would summon them, you just sent the card, the original version, from the deck to the graveyard. But in real life, you banish them, which is okay, like, you can still work around with that. Anyway, so this guy, he can bring back a synchro from either player's graveyard. So usually whenever I play this guy, I usually like to go into something else prior to him, like a Leo or something. Something that I can bring back. And there can only be 1 face of Malefic Paradox on the field. I like that, but however, since he is still technically a Malefic, he can't summon out any of these guys. And if Malefic World is not faced up on the field, destroy this card. So you actually need Malefic World. You can't just have any of the other field spells out there on the field. You have to have Malefic World. And that's both a burden and also not really much of a burden, because really in like a pure Malefic deck, all you're really playing is Malefic World. You might play Silvery Calicos as a one-of, but for the most part you only really play Malefic World. So overall, I like this card. I like its design. It doesn't hinder you in any way. You just synchro summon into it, you summon a monster from either player's graveyard, and then you just proceed to beat down your opponent with lots of attack power. And that's one of the big issues with this deck, is It's purely a beatdown deck. There's not much else to it, really. There's no protection aside from Stardust. You can protect field spells. There's no destruction, no nothing. Konami didn't give this archetype any support whatsoever, and they are idiots because this deck really could have been something fun. But no. Anyways, so on to the anime support, because, guys, there are 5 cards from the anime that Konami never printed, which would have really helped out this deck if they had printed them. So, first and foremost is Malefic Divide. It's a quick play spell card. Target 1 Malefic monster in your graveyard, special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. It cannot attack directly, and its effects are negated. Destroy it during the end phase. So, the reason why I like this card so much is because it's a monster reborn, which is always nice, and also it summons a monster, its effects are negated, so hey, even if you don't have a field spell up, it won't die. And yeah, sure, it can't attack directly, but you're probably going to be bringing back something like a Malefic Savarend, which can beat over just about everything in the game. So it's a really good card. I don't like it how it destroys the monster in end phase, though. It's a bit annoying. However, I will say this card allows you to go for like XC's plays and stuff, like if you play any of the other, if you play any like other things, like let's say you bring back a Malefic Red Eyes, and then you activate Escape from the Dark Dimension to bring back the original Red Eyes, and you can go into a rank 7, just like as a general thing. I don't know how like viable that would actually be, but it sounds like it would be a decent thing to do. So, next up is Malefic Force. Target 1 Malefic monster you control while it's on the field. It's unaffected by spell cards. That would, I wish, okay, if they were to print this card, they would have to, I really feel like they would have to change it to where target 1 face-up Malefic monster you control while it's on the field, it's unaffected by card effects, which would be really good, and even just this card as it is now provides a lot of protection because, oh hey, they don't worry about Dark Hole or Geki, stuff like that. So, I really like this card, but I don't see Konami ever printing it. Next up is Malefic Selector. Banish 2 Malefic monsters from your graveyard, add 2 Malefic cards from your deck to your hand. I really like this card. Like, Konami, why did you guys not print this? This would really, really help out the deck. Right now, they have no way of searching with the exception of Malefic World, and it's so heavily reliant on it that, hey, if Malefic World goes and you burn through all 3 copies, you're screwed. So heavily. This card would help out so much just getting to your stuff. Next, so yeah, this card really should have been printed. Next up is Malefic Paradigm Shift. I really like the card art of this because it references the God cards. You got like a blue thing over here. You have a red dragon over here, a blue dragon there, and like a yellow clashing in between them. So Cypher, Ra, Obelisk. Just something that is also interesting. Also in the anime, whenever he activates this card, it splits into 3 different like versions of it. Each different colors of the God cards. Anyway, so if a face-up Malefic Paradox Dragon you control is destroyed, pay half your life points, special summon 1 Malefic Truth Dragon from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So it's literally just a trap card version of Truth Dragon's effect that summons it from the deck. Again, I like this card. It's not bad. Like, none of these spell and trap cards from the anime are bad. Konami could have printed them as is, and it would have helped out the deck a lot. Speaking of, Malefic Tune. This trap card, why did we not get it? If a face-up Malefic monster you control is destroyed, draw 2 cards. Konami, why did we not get this? Malefics get destroyed. Thank you, not Tune. Anyways, Malefic Tune. This card would have been amazing. It would have been awesome. Like, why did we not get this, Konami? Why? And sorry about my ringtone going off. I don't know. Okay, it's just an email. So, this card. All the anime cards would have been amazing if Konami, like, okay, maybe not amazing, but they would have helped out the deck a lot. And I don't know what Konami was thinking not printing these. Like, maybe they were worried that, oh, we'd make Malefics too powerful. And that is the big thing with this deck, is I feel like Konami was too scared to really make this deck as good as it could possibly be. Now, granted, though, if Konami wanted to revisit this deck, they could easily make it busted. I mean, we've seen Konami make decks go from 0 to hero in 2 seconds flat with the release of, like, the Monarch structure deck and stuff like that. So, Konami could break a deck if they wanted to. But I feel like they were scared of this deck. They were scared that it would be too powerful. That's why they put all the restrictions on it. So, what do I think this deck needs? First and foremost, it needs all 5 of these. Okay, it needs all 5. Just do it, okay? And upgrade this to make it to where the Malefic monster is unaffected by everything. Good to go. The other thing they need, And I've really thought about this and discussed it with friends and everything, and everybody that I've talked to thinks that this would be a fair and balanced card that would help out the deck a lot. And it's a trap card that I've come up with. I haven't really come up with a name of it, but continuous trap card. While it is face up on the field, you can only special summon once per turn. And it says ignore all effects on Malefic cards that state that there can only be one Malefic on the field and only that monster can attack. So basically what the trap card will do is it will allow you to summon out as many Malefics as you want, but only once a turn because you got to have some balance to it. And basically it lets them all attack. That I feel would be really good, and then if it's destroyed, everybody but one goes to grave. That would be a fair and balanced card because it will allow you to actually swarm the field and keep up with your opponent. Somewhat, because of course you'd still be limited to one special summon a turn. With that being said, though, I don't think Konami would be that smart. Let's face it, they wouldn't. Another thing I want to see is I want to see more Malefic monsters, like just in general, you know? Like, I want to see a Malefic Buster Blade, or a Malefic Utopia, Malefic, I don't know, trying to think, Malefic Neos, stuff like that, you know? More Malefics of iconic monsters, because I really freaking love these card arts. Like, seriously, all the designs of all the Malefics look so cool. And I would love to see what Konami could do of, like, making more of them. I'm being completely honest. So, with that all being said, I really feel like that this deck needs all of its anime support, and I really feel like it needs a way to be able to swarm the field and allow all of your Malefics to attack. Also, I feel like that more Malefic monsters based off of original iconic monsters would be really, really cool. And let them retain some effects or something, like seriously, don't just get rid of their effects. Granted though, this is a normal monster, that's a normal monster, that's a fusion of piercing. Basically a normal monster, because its effects are kind of meh. Synchro monster protects from destruction and not based off of anything. So, anyways guys, tell me what you guys think of Malefics. What do you think they need? Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any recommendations for what deck you want me to talk about on the next Blast from the Past, please leave them down in the comments below. Also, starting with the next one, I'm officially extending Blast from the Past. As you guys may or may not have known, whenever I first started the series, I said that I would only cover decks that were released up until the end of 5Ds. So I believe Extreme Victory was the last one, I can't remember. But I am extending it until the halfway point of Zexal, because we are now halfway through Arc V, so I want to start covering some Zexal archetypes. So I'm going to extend my reigns of Blast from the Past up to the halfway point of Zexal, and the halfway point I am going to say is Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. So everything from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy and back, I will start covering. That includes Heraldics, Madose released before Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy? I can't remember. But, like, you know, like, all those decks from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy and beforehand, I will start covering. So, guys, if you want to see any of the more recent decks from the first half of Zexal, please recommend them down below. And I already got a few ideas I want to talk about, because I love a lot of the Zexal archetypes. So Zexal really was not a great anime in any stretch of the imagination. I loved a lot of the decks that came out from Zexal. So guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later, and peace out.